Have you ever wondered why most people in prison are men? In the United States, around 90% of jail and prison inmates are men, with women comprising roughly 10% of the incarcerated population. Since no one seems to be raising concerns about gender inequality here, could it be that this huge disparity means men are just inherently more evil? Or is it just a testosterone thing? Let's take a step back and look at the animal kingdom. Are male mammals generally more aggressive than their female counterparts? The answer is yes. Males are generally more aggressive in most mammalian species. For example, male lions often engage in violent takeovers of prides where they may kill the cubs of rival males to bring the females back into estrus and ensure their own offspring's survival. Male elephants, particularly during moose, a period of heightened sexual and aggressive activity, show increased levels of testosterone and can become highly aggressive, leading to violent encounters with other males. Among primates, males are typically more aggressive than females. Chimpanzees, for example, engage in coordinated group aggression against rival groups, which can result in lethal encounters. As stated, in the world of mammals, males are typically seen as more violent than females. But are there exceptions to this rule? Absolutely. In certain species, males aren't necessarily more aggressive than their female counterparts. In fact, in some cases, it's the females who display higher levels of aggression and dominance. Many lemur species, particularly those in the genus Eulaemur, exhibit female dominance. In these species, females have priority access to food and other resources and can be aggressive towards males and other females to assert their dominance. Bonobos are closely related to chimpanzees, but have a matriarchal society where females often hold higher social status than males. Female bonobos form strong bonds and alliances, which helps them dominate males in social settings. Bonobos are known for their peaceful nature and use of sexual behavior to resolve conflicts and maintain social harmony, reducing the need for aggression. In spotted hyena clans, females are larger, more aggressive, and socially dominant over males. The highest-ranking female leads the clan, and even the lowest-ranking female is dominant over the highest-ranking male. Female spotted hyenas compete fiercely for food and social status, displaying higher levels of aggression than males. In meerkat societies, a dominant female leads the group and controls breeding. She often exhibits aggressive behavior to maintain her dominance and suppress the reproductive efforts of subordinate females. The dominant female can be very aggressive towards other group members, especially when it comes to maintaining her status and ensuring the survival of her offspring. Are men more aggressive due to their competitiveness? From a biological perspective, this makes a lot of sense when we look back at our early human ancestors and the animal kingdom. As we've just discussed, male mammals are generally reliant on mate competition. This means that males often fight to establish and defend territories. It's a crucial part of their survival and reproduction strategy. In species with social hierarchies, males fight to climb the social ladder. This dominance can increase their access to mates and resources. Think of it as a primal version of climbing the corporate ladder. Resource defense is another key factor. Aggressive behavior in males is often linked to defending vital resources like food and shelter. These are essential for survival and reproduction. So how does this ancient competitive drive translate to modern times? Well, it might explain why men are still statistically more interested in following and practicing sports. Despite women excelling in many areas previously dominated by men, including sports, men still show a higher inclination towards competitive activities. But here's an interesting twist. The competitiveness hypothesis has a weak point. Not all men are interested in being competitive. Many men prefer a peaceful and quiet life without unnecessary challenges or confrontations. Are men more competitive because of their biological heritage, or is there more to the story? This brings us to a fascinating question. Could the greater aggressiveness in some men be explained by the fact that they are statistically more risk takers? The term risk takers refers to individuals who engage in activities that involve a significant degree of risk or uncertainty, often in pursuit of potential rewards. This includes a odd range of behaviors and activities, such as starting a new business, extreme sports, and gambling. Men are significantly more likely to be risk takers compared to women, and this trend spans across various high-risk activities, from the high-speed thrills of motorsports to the adrenaline-pumping world of extreme sports and the unpredictable realm of gambling. Men dominate these risky pursuits. Studies show that men are more inclined to engage in these activities, whether it's the rush of an illegal street race, the challenge of extreme sports, or the gamble of betting. Men are consistently at the forefront of these dangerous and thrilling activities. Another fascinating example is in finance and trading. Men are much more likely to engage in high-risk trading or trading with leverage. This kind of trading involves significant risks and potential for high rewards, and men often take the plunge more than women. This behavior in the stock market further highlights how men are more prone to embrace risk. This difference in risk-taking behavior makes sense when we look at our ancestors. Biologically, women have often needed to avoid high risks to take care of and raise their children. Taking big risks could threaten their ability to provide the stability and protection necessary for their offspring. Men, on the other hand, have traditionally taken on roles that involved more risk, such as hunting or defending the group, which has carried forward into modern behaviors. Apart from considering that competitiveness and risk-taking likely play a huge role in explaining the overall higher aggressiveness of men compared to women, and the fact that 90% of the incarcerated population is male, we can raise another question. Can we identify a more profound interpretation that helps condense this disparity? Take a look at this classroom of about 30 students. Notice anything special? Most of these students either seem extremely respectful and disciplined or shamelessly causing trouble. You won't find the usual middle ground student who's just sitting there, relaxed, or maybe checking their phone. In other words, there's a stark contrast here. Most students are at one extreme or the other. This phenomenon is what we call high dispersion, fluctuation, variability, or volatility. In a highly volatile group, elements are spread out widely, far from the average. On the flip side, in a low volatility setting, most elements cluster around the average with fewer outliers. This can be observed not just in behavior, but in various fields like finance, academics, and more. Understanding these concepts can help us better analyze and interpret different situations, from classroom dynamics to stock market trends. So the next time you see such extremes, remember, it's a classic example of high volatility. Now let's dive into a fascinating theory put forward by Larry Summers, President Emeritus of Harvard and former Secretary of the Treasury under President Clinton. Summers proposed that women exhibit lower dispersion in certain traits compared to men. Essentially, he suggested that while men and women may have equal average intelligence, men show greater variation. This means there are more men at both extremes, those who are highly unintelligent and those who are exceptionally intelligent. According to Summers, this greater volatility among men explains why they are overrepresented in both the scientific community and in prisons. It's the extremes, or the tails, that matter more than the average when it comes to exceptional success or failure. Interestingly, women might display higher dispersion in some specific areas. However, when it comes to physical aggression, men tend to be more volatile. Thus, they are more likely to be either daring risk takers or extremely cautious. This variability is another form of dispersion, highlighting the diverse range of behaviors and traits within each gender. Summers' theory sheds light on how understanding dispersion can help explain various social and intellectual phenomena. It's a thought-provoking concept that challenges us to look beyond averages and consider the wider range of human potential and behavior. However, these remarks sparked significant controversy, leading to widespread criticism and ultimately contributing to his resignation as president of Harvard. Proving or refuting any of these theories can be incredibly challenging, but we can each sense which ones resonate more with our everyday experiences. From this perspective, I believe that Summers' theory offers a compelling explanation of the behavioral differences between men and women. It provides a plausible link between our evolutionary past and the higher risk-taking and competitiveness often seen in men. Educational, social, and cultural factors undoubtedly play significant roles, but statistically speaking, men tend to exhibit higher levels of risk and competitiveness under similar conditions. This often translates into more men reaching the highest peaks of success, and also the depths of failure. In today's world, with evolving production models and technology, the responsibility of child rearing no longer falls solely on women. This shift creates an environment where women can take more risks and strive for top positions, whether in success or failure. However, the influence of our genetic evolution and ancestral behaviors may still shape our tendencies and outcomes. Understanding these dynamics can help us better grasp our unique paths to success and failure. It's a blend of biology, environment, and personal drive that makes each of our journeys so unique.